The storm outside roared like a warning from God. Thunder cracked the sky, and in the flickering lights of the Daniels family living room, 17-year-old Zariah Monet Daniels stood frozen. Her hands were shaking, smeared with blood, not hers. She stared at her brother, Malik, lying lifeless on the hardwood floor. A shattered lamp flickered beside his motionless body. Her screams echoed through the walls of their Georgia home, but no one was coming. No one ever did. Behind her, the voice of her stepmother, Catherine Whitmore Daniels, a woman who married her father 3 years ago, slithered through the silence like poison. "He attacked me," Catherine whispered with wide, fake tears. "I tried to stop him. He had a knife. He was going to hurt us both." But Zariah knew that was a lie. And as the police burst through the door moments later, guns drawn and yelling commands, she saw the shift in Catherine's eyes. That same fake fear turned into something colder. "She did it!" Catherine cried out, pointing. "Zariah killed him! My God, she killed her own brother!" 2 months later, Zariah stood on trial, but not for justice, for survival. The courtroom smelled like old paper and colder history. 12 white jurors, a white judge, white lawyers, and a white woman sitting pretty at the defendant's table, spinning lies like silk. Zariah was supposed to be the victim. Instead, she was being painted as a troubled teen, angry, violent, mentally unstable. The media ran with it. Tragedy in the suburbs, troubled girl kills, brother and family feud. But Zariah knew the truth. Malik had discovered something about Catherine. Days before his death, he had whispered to Zariah in their shared room, "Z, if something happens to me, check under the floorboard in the shed." She hadn't gone back to the house since. Until now. She broke curfew the night before her testimony, snuck out with the help of her friend Akion, and returned to the house they once called home. In the shed, beneath the rotting floorboard, she found it. A journal wrapped in a plastic bag. Malik's handwriting, messy and scared. "She's not who she says she is. I saw papers, different names, different states. I think she changed her identity. And I found photos of another boy, a dead boy. He looked like me." Zariah's breath caught in her chest. The next page held a printed article. "Missing teen found dead in Tennessee. Suspect still at large." The suspect sketch? A woman who looked eerily like Catherine. The next day in court, Zariah asked to testify. Her lawyer was hesitant. "It's risky. They think you're unstable." "I have proof," she whispered. On the stand, her voice didn't shake. She told the jury about the journal, about Malik's fear, about the boy in the article. The prosecutor tried to object, but Zariah handed over the pages. The judge allowed it. Catherine's face stayed neutral, cold, but her eyes flicked, just once, to the defense lawyer. Zariah caught it. That was the first crack. 2 days later, security footage from a neighbor's porch, video that showed Malik running from the house before midnight, terrified, mysteriously disappeared from the evidence locker. Zariah knew someone was tampering. Then came the biggest shock yet. Detective Hardy, the lead investigator on Malik's case, was placed on administrative leave. Why? He'd once investigated a similar case in Tennessee, the same one connected to the missing boy in the article. And the case had gone cold after Hardy lost key evidence. Zariah realized her stepmother had connections, or secrets, or both. While researching old court cases with Keon, Zariah stumbled on a name she hadn't seen in years. Nina Bell Daniels. Her biological mother. She had supposedly died when Zariah was 7 in a car crash, but the records didn't match. No death certificate. No grave. Then Keon found her, alive, living in a shelter in Alabama under a different name, terrified, hidden. Zariah confronted her in a quiet church. Her mother broke down, sobbing. "I had to leave, baby. Catherine threatened to kill you and Malik. Your father, he believed her lies. I thought staying away would keep you safe. Zariah didn't have time to grieve. Not yet. Now she had ammunition. The final day of trial. Zariah took the stand one last time. This time, she had a USB. On it, an audio recording from Malik's phone. A backup file recovered from the cloud. Malik's voice shaky. I'm recording this in case I don't make it. Catherine has a knife. She said if I tell anyone what I found, she'll do to me what she did to Elijah. Elijah. That was the boy from Tennessee. Zariah played it for the court. Catherine's face drained of color. The courtroom erupted. 2 hours later, the jury returned. Guilty. Second-degree murder, evidence tampering, fraud, and conspiracy in the 2009 Tennessee case. Catherine's true identity was revealed. Carla Ann Whitmore, a con artist with a history of identity changes, suspected in 2 other teen deaths in different states. Zariah was cleared of all charges, her name, finally, restored. A year later, Zariah stood at the edge of a podium at Spelman College, speaking to a room full of black girls with fire in their eyes. My name is Zariah Monet Daniels. They tried to paint me as a murderer, a liar, a statistic, but I'm none of those things. I am a sister, a survivor, and now I'm a voice. She now ran a foundation in Malik's name, helping wrongly accused teens of color fight the system that tried to bury them. Because silence wasn't safety, it was surrender, and Zariah was done being quiet.